Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking the new Monkey D Gear 5 Luffy into some PvP, seeing how he rocks, seeing how he rolls with the new and improved quick team. Well, at least what you might be thinking is we are using a quick team. Something that looks maybe a little bit like this. The synergy works great. We have a lot of Straw Hat characters on the team. We have low gear characters, so then Boa is buffing stuff like Kuzan. And then we have the new Frankie, we have the new 6+ Zoro, we have the new Boa, we have the new Luffy. All the new characters come together. And you would think, sure, let's take this team in and let's take down some of the older fights in the challenge mode. Well, unfortunately, this particular team doesn't exactly cut it. Quick is still arse. So I reached out to my boy Itachi. Shout out to Itachi. This is his team build. I was trying stuff with Big Mom Katakuri. I was trying stuff with more like Blackbeard. But I reached out to my boy Itachi, and I'll leave a link to his channel down below. I believe he's done a showcase with this team on the Free Spirit team, because in Itachi's eyes, if it can't be Free Spirit, it's not a good team. But the team actually looks like this. And yes, I know what you're thinking, holy shit, what is this? It is a wonky ass motherfucking team, but the team actually functions so damn nicely. From what we know with the quick meta, Blackbeard has always been very, very good over on the quick team, because there's been a lot of powerhouse characters and a lot of driven characters that work really well over on quick. As for Big Mom Katakuri, well, Pika just kind of does what they do, but better. Less damage, obviously, and no countering effect, but applying a shield, half stats, all that nerfing that they can give works really, really well. And the combination of both Pika and Blackbeard lowering defense, on top of the defense being halved by Pika and the defensive drops the Boa gives, allows Luffy to actually do his thing and allow his special to hit a multitude of different characters very, very hard, because his special doesn't bypass defensive effects, which is a huge problem with the character. So you need to build the team around lowering the defense, bringing the enemy defense as low as possible to allow Luffy to just go absolutely AWOL and just wipe out the entire team when he actually attacks. Plus, his rumble ability actually buffs like classes as long as you have 5 or more quick characters on the team, which we do. You need 6 quick characters for Boa as well, which again, we do. We need 6 driven or fighters on the team, which again, we do. And then we also need 5 driven characters and 5 powerhouses for Cross Guild and Blackbeard, which again, we do. So the synergy of this team, whilst it looks really wonky, is actually very, very good. Shout out to Itachi, go show him some love. With that said, let's dive into some fights. Alright, so I'm going to start it off with an interesting strength team. The strength team that I actually really enjoy running, it is the strength fighter shooter based team. Now this particular build is built up around both Pika and S-Snake. S-Snake lowering the cooldown reduction, and then Pika doing all the nerfing. The thing that this team's missing though is Kuma 6+. Kuma 6+ just provides so much damage, and then you don't have to run something like Kobe in the front. You can run Kobe in the bench, but still, it's a defensive team that I don't see very often, and one that I definitely wanted to take on. Apologies about being a little bit nasally as well. I have a little bit of a cold floating around, so I'm going to try and power through this video, but I do apologize for my like nasally voice and any coughing or anything like that, so big apologies there. So as you can see, we actually go very, very quickly. S-Snake's always going to go very, very fast, same with Pika, but with our team, we're actually lowering a lot of the cooldown reduction with Blackbeard, and we're also giving ourselves a lot of cooldown reduction with Luffy and with Cross Guild as well, which is, I believe he's giving quick characters cooldown, which is really, really nice. Luffy, Boa's also giving cooldowns as well to Luffy in particular, and that just allows him to go a little bit faster. As you can see, we can special bind with Boa. She has a lot of damage, and when Luffy goes after Boa and after Pika, well, this time just after Boa, you just do a butt ton of damage. Luffy, man, he hits so hard. The defensive drops that Boa gives is just so nice. I wish it was a little bit longer. You could probably look at replacing Boa with something like 6+ Kaido if you don't have Boa, but Boa just hits so ridiculously hard. Her defense dropping isn't as long as Kaido, but she hits harder than what Kaido is actually doing, so he's another option for you though if you're really struggling with driven and powerhouse characters for the team as well. As you can see too, Luffy now has that debuff where he's immune to damage through defense. This is really, really good when you're going up against the big disgusting teams like Roger Rayleigh Gaban, S-Hawk, Kuma, Strength Luffy, Lulu, all of those like big hitters. Like Luffy just bypasses them, and especially when you're going up against the in team, which we'll do the in challenge team last. And when Roger Rayleigh Gaban's death shot goes, Luffy's just great because he'll just always tank it, which is really, really nice. Getting the super special to finish off this particular fight, nice and easy. Wham bam, thank you, man. This next fight is a little scary. We have a shooter team with a maxed out Lulu. They are rocking Kuma in the front as well, which gives them a lot of extra damage. But again, we have the upside of being quick, so we have a little bit of reduction from strength units. Plus, if Luffy manages to get his special off quickly, then he can bypass the damage through defense from not only Kuma, but also from Lulu. Now with S-Bear, He's a prominent unit to take down characters like Blackbeard. S-Bear has a tendency to go very, very quickly. Plus, he always blows away the character that has the highest cooldown, which on your team, which 9 times out of 10 will be Blackbeard. So within the first 20 seconds, obviously with Lulu and Usopp Lilith and S-Snake lowering our cooldowns, it does make it a little bit hard for us to go nice and fast. We get pretty lucky there, and the confusion hits cross guilds. Now, ideally, we don't want to hit to anyone, but cross guild is probably the best option there because now we don't lose a damage dealer. We do lose our Boa character pretty early, but that's kind of to be expected. The character we need to survive is Luffy. Luffy, if he goes after the half stats of Pika, he's going to hit ridiculously hard. And because our other characters have high cooldowns, lucky we didn't get hit with Luffy there, and Luffy's ready to go. He can do something like this. Now, obviously, RNG has to sort of come into play here a little bit as well, but his damage numbers are pretty damn high when you start halving defense, lowering defense with characters like Blackbeard and Pika, and he can just wipe out teams. He just absolutely just destroys teams. So, whilst his damage doesn't bypass defense, if you build the team out right to sort of cater towards that, it is going to work in your favor quite nicely. So yeah, that's the shooter team. Again, like RNG is always a factor when you fight shooters, but RNG can also favor the brave. So, very nice win there. Let's move on to the next fight. Well, you can see we're getting the win. Like it's gonna happen. All right, so finally for the actual fights, this is another defense team I don't see very often. One of my favorite teams to use offensively. It's the Admiral Straw Hat team with Kizaru, Garp, and Akainu, and then having the Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and the Nami unit on the team as well. This team hits really, really hard. It has a lot of cooldown reduction with Nami, and has the death shots of Kizaru and Garp at the disposal. But again, Garp's another character that can bypass defense, so this is where Luffy shines again, because if Luffy's special goes off before Garp dies, he's just going to bypass all that damage that goes through defense. And again, if you kill a character that has a death shot and you've got one character standing, you're actually going to win quite nicely. The upside to Luffy, like I said, as long as you have 5 characters on the team that are quick, he gives buffs to a variety from classes, being, the tag system. Like, he does Logia, Paramecia, Straw Hats, he just does a whole heap of stuff. So, a lot of these characters on the team are actually getting a lot of, very nice buffs. For example, Cross Guild's getting the buff because they're a Paramecia. Boa's getting the buff because she's a Logia. Blackbeard's getting a buff because he's a Logia unit. So, it's very interesting the way they design this Luffy to just sort of say, hey, put 5 quick characters on the team, but we're now going to buff all these tag characters. Now, you might think, okay, well, now I have to bring characters that have either quick or the tags. I mean, in hindsight, you actually don't. You just need to bring Luffy, he's 1, and then you need 4 other characters, and you don't actually need, you can just fill your bench out with quick characters that are just very, very good, like Smoothie, Fuji, Blue Jam, Porchemi, Inizuma, PP Frankie, all these characters work really, really nicely, so you can do some fun stuff like that, and then build your front line out very, very nicely, like we have here with Pika and Boa and Cross Guild and all this crazy shenanigans. So I love how wonky this team is and how powerful it is to just get stuff done. Like I said, I tested a lot of stuff last night and tried to do some fun stuff with Big Mom Katakuri and just like a traditional quick team, but unfortunately it just wasn't working as well as what you guys see right here. Alright, so finally I'm just going to take on the Int PvP challenge. I'm not going to do all the PvP challenges, even though this team can definitely clear them all. I feel like this is probably the hardest challenge, this or maybe the Striker one. I feel like this one's harder because of the death shots, and I felt it was very fitting to go up against Roger Ellie Gabani in some capacity, because it's another character that can bypass defensive effects. And I don't want the video to go forever, just sort of us just taking it on the challenge modes. But if you guys want to see that video where we just we do I don't know, quick Luffy versus all PvP challenges, and we just sort of run through them all the challenge modes, let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see something like that in the future as well. But this Int team is very, very challenging. Garling hits ridiculously hard. Atlas is very annoying. Sabo gives haste. You have the death shots of Yamato and Roger Ellie Gabani, but Luffy, again, with his ability to bypass the damage through defense, and then Pika giving shields to sort of counteract stuff like Yamato, you can do some pretty fun stuff. And again, as long as you can halve the defense, which Pika is about to do, having the highest defense characters, and then having Boa come in. Well, Luffy's just going to go now. So Luffy hitting for 6,000, 8,000 is exactly what you want to see. It's very, very nice damage. Because then when Boa comes in, Boa's just going to clean up the rest. Lowering attack, lowering defense with the hard stats is great. And then Boa just hits ridiculously hard with her lowering of defense. Goodbye, everybody. So 20,000, 18,000, you love to see it. And my Boa, she's only level 110 when you pull up. But again, if you have Kaido's actually a really good shout here as well. You could run Kaido. He doesn't give the cooldown reduction to Luffy, but I believe he gives it to himself. So that's another really, really nice option. As you can see, Luffy just tanks all of the death damage because of the buff he gives himself. And then when we have our bench come in, we have actually pretty lucky here that what's his name? Fuji took the spot with more cooldown. And that way we actually managed to kill S-Hawk here pretty nicely as well. But remember, S-Hawk, if you hit Luffy there, it's just another character that's just going to not eat well thanks to the Luffy damage through defense buff he gives himself. But that's going to wrap up the video. Once again, huge shout out to Itachi. Go give him some love in the comment section below, as well as the description. Check out his channel. He has versed the Free Spirit team. So if you guys want to see a little bit more content with his team, go check that out. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please enjoy the rest of your day. Belt like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.